All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Koimonogatari, episode 5.
Hanekawa is back.
Hanekawa and Kaiki.
Gonna have a conversation.
We got former best girl talking to current best girl.
I take slight objection to that, but yes. Well, right. Everyone in Monogatari is best girl at some point.
Formerly,
right.
you know.
Exactly.
Right,
Yep.
that's the point.
She who was until recently known as best girl. But
I didn't say she was the most recent former one either.
Yes, this is true. But we've got pretty much the two most powerful minds short of Gain working on this case, which is very comforting.
Yeah.
Very comforting indeed. But what does that mean exactly?
Well, we have to figure out what was the impetus regarding Hanekawa's movements, because there's the reason why she didn't want to hurt people's feelings and stuff with this,
and also trying to see if she could actually pull one over on Gain, which apparently she couldn't. But as for what else, who knows?
Yeah.
And
also,
then
just any perspective she has on the whole situation because of her past connections with a lot of the characters involved.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And will they be able to figure out and deduce who left the letter? Maybe not, because there was the whole thing of, yes, you can just slide it under the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, though, Gain doesn't warn people twice.
That's very true. That's
so,
very true. Yep.
It's a mystery, y'all. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, everyone, we're going to be starting the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. More dramatic strings going on.
Yes.
Cool. So Hanekawa's giving him the foundation. Ah.
Sure.
Because she only shared what she knew, you know? Yes. Cool. Oh.
Oh. Yeah. Are we finally getting an explanation for that?
Because we jumped ahead in time, so there's things that Hanekawa knows that we don't know. Ah, wow.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Oh. Makes sense that Hanekawa would be able to pick up this stuff since they're so similar.
Oh, you were getting snubbed.
Okay.
Nice, Hanekawa. Wow.
All right.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Definitely a keen eye for Hanekawa. I mean, yeah. Oh, Hanekawa. You don't have to do that in order to save her, though.
Right. She'd know all about that.
Yep, yep. Hmm. Right, but deceive her how? Or deceive her into believing what?
That's a...
Oh.
He doesn't have any family? Then who's his niece?
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh. Hmm.
So we're gonna find out now? On the topic of trespassing. Huh. No. No idea.
Come on.
Whoa. He can't hold himself back sometimes.
What was it?
Ah!
I keep doing this. Come on.
But that's the thing. Hanakawa was holding back too. She suspects so much, like subterfuge going on with Oshino Ogi that like Oshino Ogi is not Oshino Ogi.
Right.
I mean, that was almost like a little obvious, but the thing was more of like, it wasn't really about the identity being important. It was more like, why is this character going all around doing these things, you know?
Yeah, and like the slight bit of, okay, if Oshino were to have a niece, it would make sense for her to be someone super abnormal, right? But
I mean, maybe.
But
Oshino talked about things that were normal, but I always felt like Oshino felt like one of the most, like, kind of, I don't know, one of the more, like, wise and sane people in this show, you know?
Okay, yeah,
like,
I
of
see
all
that.
the people in this show, they all seem to have huge problems.
Right,
Oshino didn't seem to have a problem.
He's zen balanced, yeah.
Right.
Which is his whole philosophy.
Whereas, if anything, it seems like Oshino Ogi is the opposite. Oshino Ogi is chaos. Oshino Ogi is like this
absence,
non-existence.
That's why I think she's the void,
the void thing. Yeah. Okay. I love his theme. Oh yeah. Oh. What a guy. The tree keeps getting bigger. New character.
Okay.
New character. Who dis? Oh, we saw their shadow.
That was information that may come in handy someday. Wow. Wow.
Deception Day.
Oh.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
He could ruin it. Mm-hmm.
First one is actually pretty good. The second one,
yeah.
Oh, good. Oh. Hmm.
Oh. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Hmm. Avoiding the question.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, yeah. Hmm. Thank you. Oh. Okay. Wow. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Ah.
Aw. Invert that resolution. Yeah. Whoa.
Really?
Okay, Kaiki.
Whoa.
Dang.
Whoa.
Whoa. That's Senjigahara's mom and everything like that as well.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. Oh. Oh.
Ouch. Ah.
That's all it was, yeah. Wow. Oh my god, Kaigi. Oh. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Wow. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Oh! Oh! Crap! Well!
Yeah.
Well!
Yeah.
Well! Uh,
It's been nice knowing you.
yeah.
I mean, we kind of knew that this couldn't work.
Yep. Yep.
But the idea that Araragi wasn't the one who ruined it, you know?
But,
Okay.
is this just him doubting the potential of Sengoku, or is it that someone got here before him?
That could be it.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to make it be Araragi. Well, no, but they already... Him and Senjikara already talked about that and pretty much disproved it.
Yeah. Wow. Fire sisters. Oh.
Mm.
Something intellectual, yes. Ha!
Wow.
Well, yeah.
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 There goes that.
Yeah, there goes that. He tried.
He did.
And there were many signs and one obvious bit regarding the future that he was going to fail. But
now what I'm really
I wanted
curious
to just
about,
ignore
though,
that future. I just But yeah.
What I'm really curious about, though, is what exactly are going to be the ramifications of this, because this could be something...
because he doesn't deceive her,
right,
doesn't mean that he doesn't still work his magic on her,
right?
Because it might be that he does a different deception.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Like the whole thing with the wish, I feel like that's important because it could just be the foreshadowing of, yes, words mean nothing and I'm deceiving you right here, and or it could be that this is all part of it, right? I can't be the one to tell you. Yep. I can make my wish known without actually speaking it aloud.
Sure.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. Like is Kaiki gonna die? Like, he could die here.
Okay, but when does he die? Here's a good question here.
Okay.
Sengoku knows that he was trying to deceive her. She does not look happy about that. However, Kaiki did a bunch of other things that were not necessary in order for him to deceive her as he perceived her. Which means that, on some level, he was trying to do both. He was trying to save her and deceive her.
Yes.
Even if his priority goes to one over the other when it comes down to it, which would be really cool to find out in the next episode.
Yeah.
I still think that there were times when he could have done it. And his point of saying, yeah, like, I spent all of January to get on her good side. But is Kaiki really that kind of a guy? Or is there a little bit more to him?
Right. And the thing is, the main thing that I'm not sure about, but it makes me wonder. And I guess part of it will just have to be wait till the next episode.
Right.
But with the way they chose to end it,
yes.
Right? That because that's a cliffhanger. That is a prime cliffhanger right there. Oftentimes with cliffhangers, they're used specifically because they want to give you a limited perspective, right? And so they end in a cliffhanger because that way its tensions are at the highest because there are going to be some things that will relieve tension later, right? Whether that's through like straight up backpedaling, like a lot of unfortunate stories do, or something else, right? You know, it gets turned around in some way or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But because Kaiki is Kaiki, there's this part of me that's thinking, okay, she knows that he's deceiving her, but that's not everything, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, here's something that you could bring into this there. And usually we discuss the episodes in a rather linear way.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of want to do this in a non-linear way. Is that when he goes to the shrine, he's thinking about Senjugahara.
Mm-hmm.
He's thinking about someone who was in a state that was weak.
Yes.
Fragile. Critical condition. I like the way that he used that. The idea that if she wasn't assisted quickly, she would fall apart, basically. Right. And then he says, that's why I think how she is today is a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
So what I see here is there's multiple points in the episode, and I'll bring up the other ones here, where he seems to be kind of a believer. He seems to be someone that kind of believes in the impossible.
Right, which is very interesting for the... Yeah. Yeah. Because up till now, it's been the, what's a god to a non-believer? What's a god to a kaiki, right?
Right.
And
what if he actually is going really big brain with this?
Yeah.
And it's not about deceiving her at this point. It's that he sees someone in front of him that is so fragile, that is so twisted and broken inside, that he can't help but at least give a push in the right direction.
Sure.
He couldn't have done all this over the course of a month of spending time with her and not built up some level of empathy and connection with her. Even if it's a thing of where it's for the goal of taking care and protecting someone that he cares about even more, like Senjugahara.
Sure.
I think this is the guy that shoots for the moon, actually. I think this is the guy that maybe in the past he didn't do that all the time. But here, I think the way that where his mind is at.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's because there were a lot of things that were covered in this episode that didn't seem to fit perfectly with like the context of where we are in the story right now. Sort of like not a it doesn't make sense that this is what happened, but why are we talking about this now, right? And there are the more obvious ones like the name drop, and it's like that's going to be relevant for when in relation
like
to
Roka?
Kanbaru. Right.
I think it was Roka or something there. Yeah, exactly.
But then with things like say the conversation with Hanakawa, right? And talking about Sengoku and what the reads were on her and everything, and the way that Hanakawa, in the way that she spoke about Sengoku, was very setting up one thing and then saying, yeah, it's nothing like that, right? She did that multiple times. It wasn't just with the oh yeah, closed off, blah blah blah, whatever, cute, and all that stuff. It was with every single thing that she said, and then with the whole talking between him and Senjugahara, right, and going through all the stuff that happened before, and us not fully having context for it, but then we get more context later with Yotsugi, but for instance, in the future when I become acquainted with Kanbaru Suruga. Or the picture itself.
Do you see...
do
you see what this word is?
Future?
I mean that Kaiki's not gonna die here.
Yes, right. Yep. Right. Yep. Okay. Nice.
So this is something I might be going a little bit hard into, but this was something that that because Monogatari tells the story out of order in a chronological fashion, I am always like hypersensitive to any time they mention before, after, past, future.
Because it's all incredibly important.
It's incredibly important. And there's a point here where he's casually breaking the fourth wall, dropping about Nomachi Ruka, a friend of his that is going to be important in the future, is going to be important at some point. For instance, in the future, when I become acquainted with Kanbaru Suruga. Meaning that in the future, in the chronological future from now, Kaiki himself, who is talking about this story, Koimonogatari, from in some ways in the future,
now
to us, meaning that
Now,
he will make it through this.
Now, here is one thing to bring up though. This is leading up to February 1st. So, okay, it's the day of the plan. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
It goes immediately into it. So there's no time where he could have met Kambaru.
Okay, because that was the one thing that I was a little bit concerned about, is that it might be something where
there's a time skip and then there's another bit of story that's segmented.
Kaiki dies, but in the past, from the time when he dies, he's still there, and they have him, interact with the characters and such.
Yeah, the conversation with Yotsugi is rather good, but did we properly cover the aspect of him coming to the god essentially having resolved to lay bare almost everything?
Right.
Or did we stop a little bit at him being kind of the believer a little bit?
Well, okay, so
ready to work his miracle.
Well, one of the things
pray for a miracle.
Right. One of the things that I love about how they set this up here is that when he talks about not speaking the wish aloud, that's a way of saying, one, it might be tough to communicate, right?
Right.
But also, from a meta perspective, it's going to be granted. Or at least that's what we think. But when we think about what the wish is, it's okay that Senjugahara and Araragi and
have happiness.
Shinobu, or just are spared,
live.
right? Or live, right? And yet the deception doesn't work. So that makes me wonder, what if that's actually a double blind, and what it really is it's not that it's a way to show that the wish is going to come true,
right?
But it's actually because we are not fully aware of what the wish is.
Okay.
And if it's something that pertains, say, to Nadeko, right, then that could be another reason of why he can't tell her the wish. Right? Because if it's something where it's like, okay, he wants the three of them to survive, right? Then there's the idea of, well, what if he told her? And then it's like, well, no, she wouldn't honor that because it's too important to her that Araragi and everybody dies, right? But what if it was something else?
Yeah.
What if it was something about her that she really can't grant with her god powers, because it's about a change happening
in her,
right? And in that kind of sense, it has to be the lie that brings about the truth, right? It's the thing where he leads her down a direction and makes her think it's her idea, right? That's the true great deception, right?
Yeah. So there's another thing that's blaringly obvious that they brought up in this episode as like, this is in Kaiki's tool belt. He probably physically has whatever was in the closet. Like, and if I was him, I'll bet you he brought it here to the shrine.
Sure. I would not be too surprised.
I would be astonished if it's something that he couldn't bring with him to the shrine.
Well, right, because if it fits in a closet, it's probably something miscellaneous.
Yeah, it's probably something that would take at most 2 hands to hold, and just
probably fits in his trench coat.
Right, exactly. So what I think this is that he's going to focus all of that false hatred she has. Remember how they mentioned a lot through Hanakawa? The last thing that he learned was that Hanakawa told him that she doesn't see anyone else.
Right. And she doesn't think that she actually loves Araragi.
Yeah. I think she's almost certain that it's not that she doesn't love Araragi. She doesn't love anyone.
Right.
She doesn't have any connections out there, so she really is the lonely god.
Yeah.
Now, what Kaiki has done is said, no, you're not alone. I'm here. I'm visiting you constantly.
Yep.
And now he is drawing the ire of that false emotion onto himself, basically saying, I'll take that. I'll bear that burden.
Sure, okay.
And then once you unleash it all upon me, I'll still be here. Because I know that you personally want this connection. You want this to be...
Yeah, and if you think about it, if a character is specifically keeping things, especially a smart character, is keeping things a secret, not just from other characters in the show, but from the audience specifically, then that means things aren't going to go the way that it seems with regards to this character, and usually that means that things will turn out in their favor.
Now, this could be the ultimate just train just, instead of like derailing, it just gets hit with something of force, so it just stops immediately, and Kaiki just dies, and everything goes wrong, and Monogatari becomes a horror anime, and it just everything spirals out. It could do that,
and we still have to reconcile the fact that we got the future sight thing of them actually facing off against her.
But this is the thing that I'm still gonna harp on until this arc is over. This is called Koimonogatari, and we haven't had someone love Sengoku yet. And this is why I'm bringing everything back to the fact that all those little no big deal things are what's going to pay off in the end.
I hope so, yeah.
Played with her. Kaiki spent time with her. Kaiki showed that he cared about her. All that hatred or what have you isn't real. It's not something that, it's a fake. It's something, and he would know a fake when he sees one right here. So when it comes down to the moment of where he reveals, yes, I deceived you. Because I care about you. I lied to you because I care. I just can't wait for the moment where Sengoku's hair is all blown back, and she's just shocked at her own thing, crying probably, and then Kaiki is like standing with like a JoJo pose, practically like bearing his soul as a human being. I mean, he might not be human, but the point being,
they do keep up that vampire aesthetic and show the bicuspids and everything, being very sharp. But well, and okay, so all right. One of the other things because the Koimonogatari, yes, thank you for bringing that up, because if you think about it, on the one hand, it very much fits in that Senjukahara tasks him with this because she loves Araragi, and he takes the job because he loves her and he wants to make sure that she's okay, right? And then,
and maybe he has a little bit of past guilty kind of stuff that moves him forward with regards to Senjukahara. Right.
But with everything that's been set up, most of the interaction doesn't really seem to be between Kaiki and Senjukahara. That is a vast majority of it, or a lot of it, but it really is around Sengoku and Kaiki.
In terms of not necessarily screen time, but in terms of actual time invested in this world, in this story. It's a ridiculous amount of time that he spends with Sengoku. And now, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Like, this is probably the other thing that. Okay. This is the other thing that I'm just kind of pulling, in some ways out of my ass a little bit here.
Okay.
Is that Gain exists.
Yes.
And Gain knows everything.
Yep. And
so if Kaiki was to fail, why would Gain constantly be warning him about how this would work? If anything, Gain would just off Kaiki. Just end the whole thing there so that it doesn't get worse.
Anytime you have someone that knows everything. Now, either it's a hoax and they don't actually know everything, but Gain seems pretty confident that she actually knows everything. And and
if Sengoku is a god, then Gain knows everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, granted, they could try and do something where it's like she knows everything in the present, but she doesn't know anything about the future. But that'd be kind of silly. Like that would you wouldn't know everything at that point.
But I think if you knew everything in the present, then you could predict the future very easily.
Probably.
Especially if you had a constant flow of that present information. It wasn't like I have to think about it.
Well, and again, then that would be constraining the idea of everything.
Also, but even there's the time lag from when the information gets perceived to when you process it, so then it becomes the future or the past by the time you...
But since you have that, you kind of need to have everything go according to the desires of the person that knows everything.
No, you don't necessarily.
Okay.
I know what you're saying, but the fact that Shinobu did not become the god at the Shirahebi Shrine is proof that Gain doesn't have everything go according to Keikaku.
Okay. And that could maybe speak about Gain's more willingness to interfere. Right.
Or ability.
Sure, one of the two.
Like, she only has so many people that will work with her. She's not a very likable person in the interpersonal.
Right, because,
I like her character.
Yeah, because she's not all powerful. It's just a situation of, well, I can affect this here, but then I'm not affecting that thing over there.
Right, so it's
a
trade-off, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. But this seemed rather important to Gein. And and given that she is actually having an influence, right, in this situation, right, not super directly, granted, but given the fact that she's doing something means that she is influencing things, thereby it will probably end up in whatever way is best for her from the possible scenarios, whatever, especially since she's doing it in such a particular way. So that being said, there is probably a future in where Sengoku still gets confronted by the squad in the future.
Yeah. Right.
Kaiki still saves her. But
maybe it's so maybe it's something where he sets her up to be able to be saved by the others when they confront her.
Or she's already saved. At that point.
I can't remember what exactly the details were of it because I can't remember.
Was that the end of a Tori?
It was at the end of a Tori, but I can't remember whether it was something where we can
let's
check.
Just look right now. You keep talking on.
Because if it was something where they just show up and she doesn't say anything, then that's one thing, and then there's a lot more ambiguity of what her particular emotional state is given that point, right?
Right.
But if it's something where she actually says like, "All right, now I'm going to kill you" or whatever, then yes, I want to have this while lying in wait.
Wait.
If Kanbaru-san or Hanakawa-san were there, that'd be perfect. That would be the entire cast.
Ouch. So everyone else doesn't matter to Sengoku there.
Yep. Even her good friend Tsukiji.
That's actually pretty interesting, though. The idea that they're both not there, though. Or are they?
Well, I guess that's basically just the entire cast of like Bake, for instance.
Oh, that's actually an interesting point. If you look at the way...
Oh, yeah.
Look at the way that she looks different. But she says, "Welcome, Koyomi Oni-chan, I'll show you some love."
Yeah, okay.
Koimonogatari.
Yeah.
Then we see, it looks like Kambaru's arm there. And whose shoe is that? I can't tell.
I don't know.
But it's blood.
Well, actually, potentially we could go back to the previous thing and see if anyone of them was wearing those shoes. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. If anything, I'm just worried about Kambaru dying. And the romantic comedy will start the final showdown in all sorts of ways. But then it shows
Araragi in the box bleeding.
Yeah. Coming soon as expected from a Kami. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So it's not necessarily that she's going to kill them.
Yep. She just wants to hug them with her snakes. But we could also totally be wrong, and it's actually that this is that all of the setup, because the other thing that they set up was the whole idea of what exactly Kaiki and Senjigahara did previously. Or more Kaiki specifically, in that he got revenge on the cult that swindled their mom, right?
Yeah, Yotsugi was told everything through Gein, because Gein knows everything.
Yep.
So, yeah.
But the idea...
We found out Kaiki's backstory with Senjigahara as regarding to what they did together.
But the thing is that was with the intention...
Yeah.
It seemed, of essentially rescuing her mother, right? Because on the one hand, it could be seen as a vengeance thing, where it's like, you did this and we're going to make you pay, right? We're going to ruin you. But it didn't fix the issue of Senjigahara's mom, right? And so there was this kind of like Greek tragedy aspect to it, right? But then he drove them to the point of divorce, which may have been actually... in some ways, possibly what Senjigahara needed, because she needed maybe to be distanced from her mom or something like that. I don't know. But there's the illusions that are made that this is going to turn out like that, right? That when you get emotionally involved, it doesn't end well, so maybe that is maybe it is a lot simpler, and that's just the twist, and that it's that this isn't going to end well. But then that's that doesn't seem Monogatari. Like,
well, okay. What do you feel about the way that this scene with Yotsugi was used as a way to show that there's many different ways to look at Kaiki and how and why he did things in the past?
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, there was something where the backdrop that they were in front of showed a bunch of fingers crossed. At first, I thought that meant
that was
good
the
luck.
very beginning,
right,
when they first started the conversation.
But what was specifically being said? Because it could be good luck, or it could mean nope, I'm lying.
What do you want now? I thought Gain Senpai severed all ties with me. And then... No, only Gain-san severed her ties with you, not me.
Right, which...
To me, the fact that Kaiki Oni-chan and Oni-chan is unwavering. And he's like, well, can't you waver there? Call me Kaiki. He's like, fine.
And then it changes.
Yeah.
So...
I don't think that has anything, like, extremely... like strong with that.
Well, what I was thinking is that maybe it means that
gain from that
the whole thing of saying that Gain like cut all ties with Kaiki is a lie.
Oh.
Now, not necessarily in the immediate sense, because she's not, currently interacting with him, unless this whole thing from Yotsugi is actually the way that he's going to be saved or something. But
Yotsugi on her way to see Araragi, though, and he's going to pamper you. It's like, okay, all right, huh?
Are you sure Shinobu's not there? Like,
what was it where Kaiki's like, yeah, there was a time where I used to,
oh yeah, when I thought my life was cheap.
Though I've thought my life was nice and cheap several times in the past.
Yeah.
That's showcasing someone who, at the very least, didn't see themselves as valuable, but was still actively thinking about that.
Okay. What if, all right, because we know that there's the similarities in the situation between his childhood friend that died and all that stuff and everything, and there's reasons why he's getting emotionally invested and involved here beyond just Senjikahara's asking him to, right? Stuff that pertains to Nanako specifically. What if it was something where it was a similar situation where basically he was in a bad place, his friend came along and helped him out and saved him and taught him to value himself, right? And then they ended up dying, and that's awful, and that caused him to go down this path that he's at now, right?
Okay.
But that has relevance to what's going to happen with Sengoku, because I'm not entirely sure how, but it seems connected. It's connected.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Huh. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that Yotsugi was doing that was kind of twisting or spinning our perception of the way things had gone in the past. And then Kaiki goes into this mocking tone of voice. This almost like completely like sarcastic tone of voice. It's like, yeah, that's right. You're correct. I was actually a really good guy. He doesn't seem like his usual tired self. But then there's this part where he looks up, puts his hand in front of the light as if he's blocking it from himself, like he doesn't deserve its warmth or what have you. It's like, I was actually a kind-hearted soul who thought about kids like that. And this is the thing I think that makes Kaiki so fascinating, is that he's a walking contradiction. He is an absolute hypocrite in the best possible way. Now, we don't know necessarily what his wish is. We don't know what he really, really wants. He has shown us and told us maybe in a lot of ways what he truly wants, but he hasn't he hasn't told us. He has shown us in a lot of ways maybe what he really wants. But he hasn't actually, stared at the camera, Monogatari style, and said, this is what I want. As far as I know. So when this scene happened, I was like, wait a minute. Is this sarcasm something where he's having to sarcastically say that at himself because he doesn't accept that he could be someone that does these good things?
Right.
And is he a character that like specifically needs to do these things or feels compelled to do these things with Sengoku in the present here because of the past or because of what's just going on internally with him in the present.
Well, and one of the other things I want to point out here of how they do the imagery is that there's a light, you know, he's standing in the light and it's kind of blinding him, right?
Yeah, it's like he's exposed or being...
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
He's being exposed and it's uncomfortable, right? Mm-hmm. And that might be where also potentially...
It fits with his vampire imagery. In the
sunlight, the vampire imagery, yeah. Sunlight, right. He doesn't like it. He wants to stay in the darkness and in the shadows, right? And he's talking about the stuff that about himself. And yet, there's things like the line from Senjigahara of, I know you've never lied to me.
Yeah.
Right? Which is that's kind of important.
Yeah.
Right. So that makes me think
mentioned multiple times.
Right. So that makes me think that all the stuff that he's talking about himself, this is actually being vulnerable, which then maybe that's the sudden backstory and development for the character before their horrible tragic death. Like that could be it.
It fits everything. I feel like we're set up for one of the best episodes of Monogatari in this next episode here.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like Monogatari has ever failed to deliver on a cliffhanger.
I gotta say, I'm so glad that we don't know how many episodes are in each part.
Oh, yes.
Because next episode could be the last episode, or it might not be.
Well, no, I think we pretty much know it is now.
Oh, wait.
Whenever the Fire Sisters give their little things
Oh, right, yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's the final of the final, you know? What do they say here? Finally, next time will be the last time. All will be well if it ends well. It's like freaking Karen and Tsukihi. Y'all are.
It's crazy to think, though, that, like, I mean, it makes sense because they're Araragi sisters. They don't have as direct of a part to play in the story. But that, like, we got so much of them in Nisei, and now they've been, like, almost entirely gone from the story except for these little, like, end credit bits. But, yeah. What? The fact that Hachikuji was in the TV, or?
No, wait a minute. This ED. Who's singing here? Who's singing here? It might be
Nadeko.
If it's Nadeko, I have a...
Not Nadeko.
Not Nadeko at all. I think that's either Senjigahara's voice actress or just the person who's doing the ED, just the artists themselves.
I think it might be Senjigahara, though.
It could be. But look at these words. I'm sure that after... Hold on. I'm sure that after we have been granted an infinite amount of wishes, we will still want more and regret that we didn't ask. Yesterday wasn't enough because these feelings keep piling up, so let's collect them all and move on. I still can't believe this miracle when I became the most loved person of my most loved person. Today has been frustrating. I've been pushing myself to the limit, but I'll be able to laugh and call it happiness tomorrow. Kaiki's gonna win.
Yeah, he's gonna win. He's gonna do it. And now what I'm wondering is, how is he gonna do it? I
freaking told you. I think that's how he's gonna do it, man.
Yeah. Well, so
he's gonna be our hero.
Well, one of the other things I can say.
Kaiki. I'm holding out for a Kaiki till the end of the night.
I don't know why I'm thinking this, but I'm almost imagining some kind of like Kaiki Arabian Nights style of thing where his wish is basically like another 100, days where he keeps coming. Like, he's got the 3 million yen or whatever. That's enough for plenty more visits with 10,000 yen.
I like it. Yeah.
And then he does that as a way to basically incrementally get Nadeko to but that wouldn't be tied to her sparing them. So what?
I want 100 more opportunities. I want to teach you 100 more tricks with the
cat's cradle.
With the cat's cradle, and even if that leads to Kaiki dying because she still can't forgive the fact that he was going to deceive her, it's something where he trusts that in that time, though, I'll be able to show you what love really is. I'll just be able to show you the connection of another person there. So this is the other thing I wanted to bring up here.
Timeline.
I know it. No, it totally does, though. It totally does, because if a Tori is showcasing us what like the end is going to be, or at least the final.
And she
boss,
did specifically say love, which could be bad or it could be good. Like,
but Sengoku has never known love.
That's true. That's true.
So she has to have experienced love in between now and the future.
All right.
And the only person who is set up perfectly to do that is Kaiki, who is literally the hero or heroine of Koimonogatari.
Right.
This arc.
Every Monogatari girl is best girl at their given time.
Yep.
And it's Kaiki's time, baby.
It's Kaiki's time, y'all.
Okay.
I just tell you though, like, if I'm wrong,
that's gonna suck so
I'm
bad.
Gonna have like the biggest
whiplash, just
whiplash, like straight into my ball sack, absolutely pulverizing everything about me. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna cry, and it's going to be horrible.
Everyone watching this is like, these stupid fools, they're so delusional. Like, this is where Kaiki dies, and it's awful, you know, and they're all positive and hopeful about what's gonna happen next.
But I believe.
Yeah, we believe, just like Kaiki believes.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there, and any level of support gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us and the community there about this show, Monogatari, other anime, what have you, stories like Jacob's sci-fi novel that he wrote.
Yeah, so I wrote a sci-fi novel. It's really cool. It's called Battle Lines, and it's on Amazon, so you can get it there. If you're interested, the link's in the description down below. It's in both hardback and ebook, so whichever one works best for you, go check it out.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.